Alright. This is my third attempt to record this video. I okay. I'm just gonna my game audio was so loud the first time I recorded it you could not even hear me talk at all. And then I was like, oh, I'll just record the video again. It wasn't that long. And then I got to like halfway through my house tour, and then I was like, you know what, I'll check, I'll just make sure it's working. Nope, the game audio is still on. So it's fully muted now. I'm sorry, you can't hear anything, but the sun is already going down. It has been an entire in-game day of me trying to record this video. Hello, this is my Forever Ark world. I started this, I think 6 months ago I started this world. I've never had a Forever Ark world before, just because for the majority of my... I'm sorry if you can hear my birds in the background. There's no way to shut them up. They're just gonna be screaming this whole time, and you're just gonna have to listen to it. Yeah, I played Ark Mobile, like the original OG Ark Mobile, for like the vast majority of my Ark career, and if you have ever played that game to completion, it is, like, endgame is kinda non-existent. Like, there's no boss fight that you can bring your creatures into. Like, there's dungeons, but it's like, once you do that, there's really not that much else to do in that game, as far as endgame. And I did have a gaming laptop when I was like 16, but it did not run this game well enough to get into the end game. Like, it would just keep crashing. So I got this computer a while, like I said, 6 months ago, started this Ark playthrough, and I have not stopped it so far. And I really want to keep this world going and like eventually make videos on it, because I know eventually I'm gonna have to get rid of this world. Like, I know something's gonna happen and I won't have this world anymore. It's just inevitable. I've played Ark long enough to know that. And I want to have something to remember it by, so I'm gonna do a house tour, or like a world tour. I'm gonna show all my bases that I've had, and then I don't know, and then start doing videos on it so I can have something to remember it by, and maybe somebody will watch them, which would be kind of nice. So yeah, this is I'm gonna do the house tour first, and then I'll do a tour of all of my creatures. Yeah, this is if you're wondering where the location of this base is, this is ASA, or, yeah, ASA. It's in this little island over here, kind of in the, southwest area. I would definitely recommend building an endgame base here, if you want to. It's very flat, it's very safe, there's plenty of resources in, like, the mountains. Crystal's kind of hard to get, but it's not that bad. Like, if you have patience and Quetzal, you'll be fine. The only problem that I have with it is sometimes it's hard to land flyers here, because some of this counts as ocean and some of it doesn't. So you kind of gotta find the right spots to land your creatures. But other than that, it's a really good base spot. I'm very happy I found this place. This is my dung beetle farm. It's not producing very well, because... Alright, this world is a little bit buggy, because I wanted to start a dung beetle farm as soon as I started growing crops, so I got on my, like, RG or whatever, and I flew all the way over to the volcano biome, and there was just no dung beetles. I spent so long flying around the mountains, like, killing things. Dung beetles just were not spawning. They weren't in caves or anything, and I think it was Sunday, so it was, like, 3 days ago, I decided to fly over because I wanted to look for lightning wyverns. And I was just flying on my griffin, and I, like, just double took. I was like, oh my god, it's a dung beetle. There's a dung beetle in my world. And there were 2 of them. One of these is a max level. They don't have names yet. I will eventually name them. Oh my, I was so happy. I think it's the happiest a human being has ever been over finding a dung beetle in Ark. So I threw this together. I set up, cyber structures. Finally I installed it, and now I have something to put in my crops besides just raw poop. So that was a very exciting moment for me a couple days ago. So you can go up here. Up here is my flyer landing area. I don't know how I started doing this, where I don't like landing my flyers on the ground if I can help it. I like landing them somewhere up high. Like, it just feels wrong to have, like, all of your flyers on the ground. I think when I was like 12, I saw a YouTuber do it, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta put all my flyers up high now too. So yeah, this is where all my flyers go. Obviously not some of them, like, this world is very old, at least for me, so I have a lot of flyers. So I can't keep all of them up here, but I try to keep as many as I can. Like you can see that I have this bridge over here. I did move them a while ago. I used to have all my RGs up here, I moved them. This base is still a work in progress. But yeah, that's the roof. This is where my griffins go. I got my my one tech griffin that I found, who's like a level 60 or something. The max level in this world is 450 because like I said, I played Ark Mobile and that was a preset. You can make the world 450, and I always played that because I was like, oh, maximum difficulty. Yeah, of course I'll do that. And now I'm like, I'll play. I'm like, ew, 120. 120 is a max, or like 150, like that. I can't deal with it. So I'm just so used to having like creatures with like such high stamina and like high health that I'm like, I can't, you know. So that's the max level of this world. This is my house. This is a little bit weird for me because whenever I do bases, I usually do like closed off rooms. Like I have a bedroom with full walls. Then I have my crafting room with like fully walled off. But then I was like, you know, I'll do like a nice open kind of like beach house kind of vibe, and I really like it. Like this was originally just gonna be like a second base. Like this was really gonna be my main base. I was gonna build like a main base, and this would be like a vacation house, I guess. But it ended up being my main base because I liked it so much. So yeah, this is my bedroom. I got this is where my tech replicator will go when I beat the boss. I got my kitchen. I got my crafting area. This is a little place where I can put like Ankies and like beavers whenever I do resource runs, so I can just really easily put them away in my like resources storage. We don't talk about this little room. This is supposed to be like a little nook, I guess. I want to do something with this other than just spam decorations and hope it looks like something good. It kind of just looks like a little like beach storage shed. Like if I want to go swimming, I got like my beach closed sign. Like, you know, I don't know. I had an idea for it. Kind of didn't come to fruition. This is my prison. There's supposed to be a guard here. I was like looking for my guard otter for so long. Over there with socks. So I guess they're hooking up. What the fuck are you two doing over here? Like, you have a job to do. I don't know why. I don't know. This is my little porch. It was originally going to be like this nice little place to watch the sunset, but because I have so many fucking creatures, it just got taken over by Yutyrannus and griffins at some point. But it's fine. I still like the view. If you're wondering, I have a mod that adds like just glass windows that are just like completely clear. Like there's still a block there. Or not block, it's not fucking Minecraft, like a wall there. But yeah, that's just about my house. It's not a very big house. I do want to eventually build like a massive like endgame mansion somewhere, but that's not what this is. So yeah, I'll do the tour of my hatchery, because like this big building right here, this used to be my hatchery, like where I would do breeding, like, but then I started doing like bigger creature mutations. Like I did Yutyrannus mutations, I did Spino mutations, and they would just completely take over the island, and I was like, I need somewhere else to do this. So this is just a big dark box right now that I just like how nice it is that it's connected to my house like that I don't want to tear it down. So I'm gonna turn it into something. Maybe I'll make it like a retirement home for my old creatures. I don't know. I'll think of something. This right here is my little taming pen. I just built this because there was a tech Anki on my island and I wanted to tame it. So I just built this box for it. It's ugly. I'm gonna get rid of it someday, but for now it serves a purpose. This is kind of cinematic with the Brontos, the sunset. This is nice. Anyways, this is my new hatchery. As you can see, it's like, I was originally gonna go for like a genetic lab, like evil science mutation vibe, but eventually it turned into a castle. Like I just eventually pivoted to castle, but then I I spent so many resources on these, like, metal walls. I was like, well, I can't get rid of the metal walls. I guess let's just make it castle slash evil scientist lab. But yeah. Sorry, I just heard my snail. This right here, this is like the tower. This is where I'm planning on keeping like small creatures. Like, I want to do Veilween mutations. I want to do Compy mutations. So this is where they'll all go. This is just a door to the outside. Please close. Like this is just a door. Ooh, that's pretty. That's really pretty. This is just my fireplace to keep my creatures warm. And then, yeah, this is just where you hatch them. And, you know, this is Waterfire. She was my first creature that I ever mutated on this world. As you can see, I kind of went a little bit nuts with the stat mutations, but I wanted her to be really good, and I'm very happy with these colors. Like, I kind of put the orange on just to like see what it would look like, and I ended up loving it. So her name is Waterfire. She's very strong. I just use her to kill the babies and do caves now, but like she was my main mount for like a long time. I was very happy with her. So yeah, that's the hatchery. It's night, which sucks because you can't see the colors as well. I'm actually gonna real quick look up the command to make it daytime. Alright, yes, I am indeed recording. Alright, so I set it to be morning so you can see the colors on all my creatures, because my favorite thing to do in this game is make really pretty creatures and like make really overpowered creatures just for fun. So I got my breeding pair of Baryonyx just in case Waterfire dies. If she dies, I'll cry. But I did move a couple of my creatures, like my resource gatherers and like my bigger creatures over here, just because having a Bronto with like all the other creatures over there was kind of a little bit too much. But I have, this is my Quetzal. This is just a random Quetzal that I tamed just to breed with Dino. I have a potions mod, so I can just change their genders if I need to. I was gonna do Quetzal mutations, but then I was like looking at it, I'm like, Dino's colors are really pretty. So I might not end up doing that, but I do need to breed for more Quetzals so I can eventually do, because I want to tame a Titanosaur, because I've never done that before, and you need a Quetzal for that. So I will breed more Quetzals. But yeah, I got my Megalosaurus down there. I've got the Mammoth looks so small next to the Bronto. My one Allosaurus is in there, and my Tech Snail. I downloaded. I have like I think all the Paleoarch editions, and I have the Zephyrian Critters that adds all the tech creatures, and I found this Tech Snail that I thought was really cute. Yeah, that's it for this island. Like I said, I just threw this little base up over here. I just threw this up to be like my breeder area for when I eventually do big tames like Gigas and Deinosuchus, because I want to use Deinosuchus for the boss fight. I'm gonna need a lot of space, so that's what this is. Oh, and I have my Pyromanes. I do not like Pyromanes. I only paid them the $5 so that I could use them for the Ice Queen fight, because that fight is bullshit. So yeah, that's all I have Pyromanes for. I don't know if I'm gonna do mutations on them, because like I originally was like, oh my god, a fire tiger, that's so cool looking, and then I looked at it. Oh yeah, like I said, this counts as water, so if I mount my Pyromanes, they like extinguish. But then I started looking, and I'm like, I'm actually not that big a fan of how these things look. I don't know. Maybe I'll do mutations. Maybe I won't. But yeah, I have like my resource creatures. I have this Tech Baryonyx that I found. I was so excited. It was a max level Tech Baryonyx, but I found it in you know, this little the like ravine. I think it's like over here. And it got attacked by a Spino while it was taming, so it's like an awful level now. Oh my god, it was so sad. Here's my Deinosuchus. Like I said, I'm planning on using these with the boss fight, just because I think it's cool. And I'll get to Rex's eventually. Look at that health. This is base. This is like base 147. That is like I know most people probably don't play with max level 450, but like that is like insane. That's the highest base stat I've ever seen on a creature. So yeah, these are gonna be my boss creatures. I tamed a lot of them just to try to get better stats. These are my Archelons, just because I just thought they were kind of cool. So I tamed a billion of them. Get over all the Deinosuchus. These, I am so proud of this. These are my mutated Tech Spinos. I named them Hellraiser and Spinebreaker. Spinebreaker, I think, is a boss from Pugnacia, like a Spino boss from Pugnacia. I could be wrong. It might be a different like overhaul mod, but I thought it was a cool name. But yeah, as you can see, like the stats do not. I didn't get any. Oh, I just got a food mutation on here, because I was just doing this because I thought it would look cool. I'm not planning on using them for boss fight or anything. Like I said, all my mutations, they're like fully bred and mutated. I do have Dino Painter installed. Like I have Dino Painter, but I only use that for, because I'll get to my Yutyrannus in a bit. I don't like using it for creatures I plan on using. I just use it for like decorative creatures, or like sometimes fan creatures. Like if I want to make a creature from like a, I don't know, Splatoon or something. But yeah, here's my RGs. Like this is just, I set this up as like a farm for kibble, so I can get these. I use Tech Spinos for mass leveling creatures. So if like I breed a creature, I just give it a bunch of Tech Spino eggs and it gets to like max level. I have my RGs. These are River and October. Who were my, I think October was my main, yeah, October was my main RG when like my first RG that I ever tamed. I love her colors so much. She's so pretty. Oh, let me just get rid of this. Very pretty. She looks like, that fancy corn. I don't know what is it like popcorn? That looks like these colors? I don't know. These are my Yutyrannuses. These are my two mutated Yutyrannuses that I got through pure breeding mutations. I have Arctica. Oh no, Arctica, the original. She's over there, but this is a clone of her. Very proud of these colors. Like I think they're really pretty. These are the Greater Yutyrannus from the Paleo Arc mod. That I love how they look so much. And this is Raspberry Jam, who was kind of ugly, but like she was my first fully mutated Yutyrannus, and I decided to keep going and eventually get Arctica. This is Pearl, because I thought it'd be funny to make her into Yutyrannus. I did not mutate any of these colors. These are made with Dino Painter, so she's just gonna sit in my base and just look pretty. These are two clones of my main Griffin Freedom. These are my OG Griffins. When I did Griffin mutations, I was so excited. I tamed, I'm not kidding you, like at least 10 wild Griffins. Like I flew around for like hours and hours and hours looking for high level Griffins and like to get good stats, and the stats did not even end up being that good. Like you can see, like 109 is the highest melee I ever found. That was really sad, but 120 stamina is really good, so I'm not really gonna complain. This is my Fire Wyvern. He just chills over here. He's not that good, but I need him for eggs, so he chills here. Like I said, all my Griffins are up there. My like old mutated Griffins, my one tech Griffin that I found who was just a god awful level. But if I ever find a good tech Griffin, I will have something to mutate them. So that's exciting. I got my Jerboas, my like a bunch of little creatures that I just kind of tame for fun. I don't know why the Microraptor is so just kind of microwaved looking. These are my first two creatures that I ever tamed. I killed a Dilo that had like twin babies. I don't know why they look nothing alike. They were from the same mom. Yeah, I don't know how that worked. Maybe they were from different parents. I don't know. But they're like the same level. Ocean and Blueberry. My Moz Chops, who just chills here. This is Goldie, who was my Griffin that I got a lot of really good stats for when I was feverishly looking for good Griffins. And I just thought her colors were really pretty. That's just like a very nice Griffin color. This is my other Fire Wyvern. This is Dusty, who was my first mount that I ever got. He's a very high level horse. I think he was like a 420 horse. That he tamed so many creatures for me. He saved me so many times. I love this horse so much. This is Mint, who's a trike that I found as a baby. These are my two Tech Ankies that I found, and I plan on doing Tech Anki mutations eventually. I have a lot of Petrodons because, personally, I like in the early game, especially on a new map, I like exploring on like a mount. So I tame these terror birds, Tumbleweed and Meatball, who were like my main mounts for a while. I love terror birds. It's like early game mounts, because of their little flap when they fly. Oh my god, I hate the terror bird TLC that they did that makes them run like that. They used to look so scary, and now they look so dumb. That's dumb. I hate it. I hate it so much. But yeah, like because of their little flap that they do, they make really good exploration mounts. But the problem is, Microraptors would kill me so many times that I'd be exploring on my terror bird, and I'd have to panic and tame a pteranodon to go get my stuff. So I just have a lot of miscellaneous pteranodons. This is my bison. I do want to do bison mutations eventually, because they are cool. They're kind of just not useful to me. Like, I didn't tame them at all in the early game. I kind of just found a good bison and was like, you know what, I'll just tame a good bison. So I want to do mutations for them just because they're really cool looking. That's my tech turtle. Like I said, I have the Zephyrian critters, tech dinos. So sometimes I'll just be walking around and I'll find something like a tech turtle, and I'm like, I'm not gonna not tame a tech turtle, you know? There's Crystal, my ice wyvern. This is, I think Bella is her name? Yeah, Bella, my, Therizino. That is Destroyer, my evil griffin. I play this game completely single player. I've never played on a server. I've played with friends before, but I think I got one of my friends to download it, but her computer just could not run it, so it was unfortunate. Can I land? So yeah, I have a lot of time to myself to think on this world. So I have like I have so much lore for my creatures. There's like a inter-species war going on between my creatures right now. So I have like names like this is like the princess of the ice wyverns or something, and I have like the fire wyvern queen. I have like my griffins are royalty. Like I have a queen griffin. Destroyer is evil. This is just Marina because I thought that'd be cool, and I am so attached to her. I want to do ice wyvern mutations, but I have not been able to find a good ice wyvern egg because my world has a big overspawn issue with ice wyverns. This is Chompers, my T-Rex. Like I said, I have Paleo Arc installed, so Rexes are really hard to tame. So Chompers is the only Rex I'll probably ever have. I found him as a 450 baby, and he is very special to me, and I love him, and I love him so much. But yeah, that's about it for this base. Oh, I have some water creatures that I can show off. I have my Tech Megalodon that I did record taming, Megalobot, and there's some other, my anglerfish that I hate, and a dolphin named Dave that I do not remember taming. Like I said, I recorded this before, and I remember I was going through my creatures and I was like, who the fuck is Dave? I do not remember taming Dave. He just, appeared, I guess. Oh, and this is Splatoon, my Tuso. I've never tamed a Tuso before. It was a lot of fun trying to figure out how Tusos work. But, yeah, that's, Splatoon. But yeah, that's it for this island that I have. This is my endgame-ish base. I might build another one. But I do want to show off my other bases that I have. When this fog clears up, I can show it off better. But yeah. That's my latest base. My mid-game base is actually in the ravine. Because, like I said, I did have a gaming laptop when I was 16 that I would play this game on, but I couldn't play it for very long because my computer just couldn't handle, like, big saves with so many creatures on them. So it would eventually just die, and I'd have to start over. And, like, the furthest that I ever got was I did start building in that ravine, and it was kind of cool to build there eventually when I do have a computer now that can run it. Where is the spot that I wanted to build in? Oh, yeah, this is the spot that I originally was going to build in, but, like, as you can see, there's like, Cerato over here, there's a Rex over here, and it's like, I know I could just kill those things, but it's like, I do a lot of breeding, so I'm like, I don't want to go AFK in a base that is surrounded by those creatures, and then eventually just get my base wiped, because I have been very lucky on this save to have never had my base be wiped by, like, something dumb like a Dinotherium, or like, like a Giga or something, because I've built in very safe locations on this save. What was that, T-Rex? Very bad. But yeah, so I wanted to build here, but then there was like a Karcha, I think, hanging out exactly where I was going to build, and I was like, you know what, I'll find a new base spot. And then I flew just a little bit further west, and I found my current base spot, and I'm very happy with it. I gotta turn this off. I use the Awesome Spyglass mod because I don't hate myself. I gotta farm this area more. I want to find a good tech griffin. This place is so pretty. I love this area. This Ragnarok is such a beautiful map. Like, this is hands down my favorite map. Like, it just has such pretty locations like this. I guess the only thing that I think I would ever change about Ragnarok is I wish that there was a bit more of an aberration zone. I know they kind of added a little mini aberration zone where the dark cave used to be. But, like, I don't know. I think it would have been cool if they added, like, an area with, like, this is just me being really selfish, but, like, I really like, rock drakes. I think having a rock drake area would be really cool, but that's just me. That's just what I still love this map. It's still very, like, hands down my favorite map. But I remember when I didn't look up any spoilers when this map came out. I wanted to explore it all on my own, and I was just really hoping they added an aberration zone. I have a, it's not like a tech grinder, like a resource salvage mod, so, like, I get every single drop that I find to get resources, so I don't have to farm as much. But yeah. Because it's like, look how pretty this is. This ravine, oh my god, this map is so pretty. Oh, I turned my HUD off. It's, oh my, it's so beautiful. What's in this? Is this worth going? It is not. I'm not gonna carry all that around. The only problem with this base area is there just wasn't enough room. Like I said, this was my mid-game base. Like, I did expand, like, I kept all my creatures over here. I did expand to more pillars, but I didn't like how spread out it felt. And it was just so up high. It's in a very good spot for, like, resources. It's in the middle of the map. It's a very good, like, map-wise location. I just needed more room. So, like, this is where I did, Griffin mutations, because I needed the space. This was my big hatchery. I should probably pick these up and take them home. I should not be letting valuable things. I'm not gonna do it. I'm lazy. But yeah, that was my secondary hatchery that I did build later on. This island is where I keep all my creatures. This is my main base. As you can see, I don't know what I was thinking building the door here, because I was like, oh, I'll build the door. And then I cannot tell you the amount of times I fell off of this ledge just coming out of my house. It's very dark in here. I did have a lot of light. Oh, there is a light. No generator, though. And here was my first hatchery. Like, I did have, air conditioners here. I did my baryonyx mutations in here. I liked having it as, like, a little shed area. In here is my bedroom that looks like a prison cell. I have my motivation to myself. Yeah, it's kind of ugly. I don't like this bedroom very much. This is where my generator would go. There's a little door to the outside. Not very much to say about this. There's not a lot to say about this base. It's a very, I think, standard mid-game base. I don't like living off of, like, a thatched foundation. Like, I like to build, like, a nice base for myself. But yeah, up here is, like, oh, fuck, I almost pulled my headphones out. Up here is, like, I had my furnace, or my, Indie Forge here. I do have a mod that makes Indie Forges smaller, because I don't hate myself. I was really happy with this, that you can, like, kind of look in here and kind of jump down to the hatchery. I thought that was really cool. But yeah. This is where I would put my creatures, like, if I was, farming metal, I'd just drop my Anki here, and I'd put all my stuff in there. Like I said, not a lot to say about this. I should probably take this. What? You know what? I'm too lazy. I have in here, this is where I would keep my mutated creatures. There might still be some stuff in here. Yeah, I have some old baryonyx from when I was doing baryonyx mutations still stuck in here, and soul balls. Here's my grave for Nibbles, who was my, shoulder pet, what was Nibble? A Microraptor who died. I was very sad about that. Yeah, there's a lot of Baryonyx in here. Oh, yeah. But yeah, that was this base. I was very happy with this base. I think it looks really good from the outside. Like, I like that it's not just a big box. I think I did the roofing pretty good. It looks... I like the windows. I don't know. It was a very good base. I was very happy with this base. But I just needed more space. And it kind of sucked that there were Spinos underneath, like, under me at all times, because sometimes a creature would just fall off and just get killed by Spinos, and I'd get really sad. But that was it for this base. My early game base, or like where I spawned, I decided to spawn in the Highlands, because whenever I would play on Ragnarok, like either on my Switch or on, my old gaming laptop, I would always spawn in, Viking Bay. Because I think Viking Bay is like kind of the de facto spawn for this map, because it's very good. But I was like, you know, I'll spawn in the Highlands, you know, it'll be kind of fun. And, it was. I'm surprised, like, my base didn't get wiped. Oh my god, this area. That death number 16 was I think the closest I ever came to having a heart attack playing this game. I was on, my Griffin that I'm on now is on Marina, and I was flying from my old base up in the Highlands to my current base, and I was like, I don't feel like going all the way around this mountain, I'm just gonna go through the mountain, you know, like a normal person. And I was just flying, and then I swooped through the trees, and just, here they are, the massive swarm of ice wyverns. One of them hit me with like the little ice blast that they have, and this pack of like 15 ice wyverns all started like wailing on my Griffin, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my Griffin. I'm gonna lose my favorite Griffin to this. So I dismounted. I dismounted and I took my soul gun and I was just like, spam, like get her in a soul ball. And it didn't work. I don't know how it didn't work, but like I ended up dying and she was just stuck in this big cloud of wyverns. And my original otter died. That was really sad. And yeah, I got back to her on my other Griffin, and she was on less than 1,000 health. Like, she has like 40k health right now, 42k health. And she was almost dead. Oh my god, I had to take a bit of a break from this game after that, because I really thought I was gonna lose her. Because I don't have a backup breeding pair for these colors. If she dies, that is it. I just won't be able to make a Griffin that looks like this anymore. But yeah, that was really sad. I just kind of had to stare at my screen for a while, like, oh my god, I almost lost my favorite Griffin. But, so now I have a bit of a vendetta against ice wyverns, which sucks because they were my favorite wyverns for a long time, because I think they look the coolest, and, my first ever playthrough that I ever did of Ark on my old PC was Valgyra, and I had an ice wyvern, I think named Smudge or something, who was like a black and white ice wyvern, and I loved him so much. So I kind of had very fond memories of ice wyverns. Not anymore. I do not like them anymore. They can all die, because I have a big issue with wyverns overspawning on this world. I don't know if it's an issue with ASA in general, or if it's just my world that has an issue with them overspawning, but like, I just can't do anything in the Arctic without being dogpiled by ice wyverns. They're everywhere. It's annoying, because I really did want to build in the Arctic, because I just think it's the prettiest biome in this game, besides the ravine, of course. But yeah, it did suck that I couldn't build in there. I wanted to build in one of those frozen lakes, because I thought that'd be really cool, but like, if I built there, I'd just be constantly attacked by ice wyverns. I know so many of my tames would die, so I had to build in the little beach area, which I don't mind. It's very pretty. And like I said, I have Griffins, so it's like, it's not like it's an issue. I've flown across this whole map. It doesn't take that long on a Griffin. So, but yeah, this is where I spawned in. I said, I got no spoilers for this map. I went in completely blind, and I was so excited when I saw how much they expanded the Highlands, because the Highlands was also a biome that I really like. It sucks how foggy it is right now. Hold up. There we go. Oh, I'm so glad I learned that command. But yeah, I spawned, I think, like, over by that river, and I found this, like, nice little bridge, and I decided to build by this little cliff over here. And, I was in the very early game when I started building here. Or, I mean, like, obviously it was my spawn area, but I saw, like, this pack of aloes out in the distance, and all I had to my name was those two, Dilos and my horse, and I just panic farmed all of this wood with a wooden hatchet. I didn't even have a moss chops. I had to hand pick, excuse me, I had to hand pick all the fiber. I had to, so this might be stone. No, it is wood. Stone foundations, I thought it was. But yeah, all of this was done by hand. It was awful. And you know what? The aloes never even came close to my base. Nothing dangerous has ever come close to this base. I've never looked outside, and it's always been so peaceful. I did all of this for nothing. Like, I think the most dangerous thing to ever come near here was a fucking Dilo. But yeah, this was my base for a while. I stayed here a little longer than I probably should have. Like I said, it's just a thatched hut. It's nothing special. I remember the reason that I decided to move was I went out and I found my first griffin, and I tamed her, and I just landed my griffin here, and I was like, I can't have a griffin and live somewhere like this. Like, I don't like rushing through these games. Like, I like to take my time and really enjoy my playthroughs. So I don't like living out of a thatch hut. I wanted to have somewhere nice to live, and I was like, now that I have a griffin, I'm just gonna buckle down, build in that ravine, and I liked it. It was a good decision. But yeah, I really liked spawning in the Highlands. I don't think I would do it again, just because there weren't a lot of things like dodos or dilos that I could really easily kill for hide in the early game. I kind of had to really be sparing with my hide, so I'd probably, if I were to do this again, I'd definitely spawn in Viking Bay, if I ever decide to go again. But I did enjoy it in the Highlands. It was kind of nice to have a bit more of a challenge. I liked how close it was to the redwoods. Like, you thought my first mounts, or like my first like really good mounts, were terror birds, because I found them in the redwoods over there. It was very fun. I would recommend it. I wouldn't do it again, but I'd recommend it. But yeah, that's everywhere that I've built. Like I said, I do eventually want to build some more bases in place, just because I really do enjoy building, and I want to continue this world. Like I said, I've never gotten into the late game like this before. This is like new territory for me. I gotta find things to do. I gotta, like, I don't know. Like, I've never had the time or a computer that could run the game this smoothly at this state in the game. So I want to start making videos on stuff. Like, I want to do Giga Mutations. I want to beat the boss. I want to make, like, a tech base. I think making a tech base would be really cool. I've only done a couple of the caves. Like, I've done the dark, or what used to be the dark cave, and I did the Ice Queen boss, but I haven't found any other artifacts. I want to do all that. There's a lot of creatures I want to mutate, because, like I said, my favorite thing to do in Ark is make really cool creatures, and, like, get very attached to my creatures. I have never understood how people could play 100, or, like, do 100 days in Ark, because, like, I watch 100-day videos every now and then, and I just don't get it, you know? Like, I don't like rushing. I don't like feeling rushed in these games. I like taking my time. I like really getting attached to my creatures. Like, I don't like having, at least in the early game, I don't like having, like, just, oh, this is my raptor. This is just a raptor that I tamed. It died. Oh well, time to get a new one. You know, like, it hurts, but I like getting sad when my creatures die, you know? Like, I like feeling attached to these creatures, and I like, you know, kind of having, like, a smaller amount of, like, I like getting a RG as my first flyer, you know? Like, I don't like speed running the Wyvern Trench and, like, trying to get Rexus as soon as possible. Like, I like really taking my time and enjoying, like, all the different phases of the game. And I think why I did end up staying so long on this map in particular was because, like I said, my base never got raided. Like, I don't know if raided is the right term for PvE, but, like, my base never got destroyed. This is an awful loot drop, by the way. My base never got destroyed. Oh, I forgot to mention my chibi. This is, I do want to eventually try to get a Griffin chibi, but that's what I have for now. My base never got destroyed. I never lost a good amount of my creatures because, like, I've played on other maps. Like, I played on the center. That was the first map that I tried, because, Ragnarok wasn't out when I got my computer. I played on the center, and I was building in one of those ruins on, like, the middle of the map in those, like, river area. and it was like it was a cave. It was like fully sealed off, and I went out exploring, and I just came back to my house, and I just started getting wall of red text death notifications. I was like, oh my god, what the hell happened? An Indominus Rex spawned inside my base. Like, that's my, I really like the designs of the Indominus Rex and the Indoraptor in that, I think Moror's Indomitable Duo mod, I think that's what it's called. But it's just, the spawns are so bad in that mod. That's, like, my biggest criticism of it, is, like, I don't think I should go to a beach and see an Indominus Rex. Like, I feel like Indominus Rex should replace Gigas. And, like, Indoraptor should replace, like, Rexes or something. Like, I think it should be, they should be really, a lot more rare than they were. And I think that they shouldn't spawn in safe areas. Like, I played for a little longer after that, but I lost everything. Like, almost all of my tames died, and I was like, I just don't have motivation to play this anymore. And, like, a similar thing happened when Volgaric came out. I had, like, a pack of Saberteeth, and I had a bunch of Deinons that, they weren't very good levels, but, like, I was attached to them. Like, I gave them all names, I had, like, little personalities for all of them, and a Dinotherium spawned right outside my house and wiped everything that I had. And I was like, I just don't have the motivation to play this anymore. Like, I want to start over on that world, because I'm like, I can't anymore. Which I think is something that I don't get if I were to do, like, a challenge or something, like, 100 days, you know, like, I started rambling a lot, real right there. I might cut some of that out, I don't know, but, yeah, that's my, Forever Ark world. That's what I got so far. Like I said, I'm gonna keep going. I want to make videos when I eventually do more interesting things than just a house tour, but I was originally going to do a full, like, recorded playthrough, but I couldn't get OBS to work. Clearly, I've recorded this 3 times, I'm not good at this. So I decided to just enjoy it, and now I'm eventually making videos on it, but that is it. I don't know how to do outros, so goodbye. I'll probably play something at the end of this. Peace.